The United States Congress introduces thousands of bills every year and hundreds become law, regulating every aspect of our lives from the food we eat to the strength of water in our showers, even to the type of light bulbs we're permitted to use. But where in the Constitution does it claim this authority? Do members of Congress even bother to ask themselves this question before considering the legislation before them? One member of Congress does ask this question, and recently he challenged the Obama administration on its support for laws that mandate minimum levels of efficiency in consumer products for the home. Take a listen.
You don't care about my choices. You don't care about the consumer, frankly. You raise the cost of all the items with all your rules, all your notions that you know what's best for me.
All the notions that you know what's best for me, the moniker of big government. Joining me now is Kentucky Republican Senator Rand Paul. Senator Paul, it's a pleasure. Welcome to this special edition of Freedom Watch. Do we still have a Constitution?
You know, my worry is that really since the late 1930s and into the 1940s, once we got to Wickard v. Filburn, that the Commerce Clause became so large that they drove all of big government through the Commerce Clause, and that really, as you mentioned in your book, Constitution in Exile, that for 60 years the Supreme Court didn't restrain this expansive definition, and even now we're struggling to restrain it at all. That's why I think the Supreme Court's review of Obamacare is so important, because it's really not about health care. It's about whether or not the Commerce Clause has any limitations, or whether we're going to become a government that is really a government of majority rule that has no constitutional restrictions.
Are you fearful of the tyranny of the majority? Because a lot of your colleagues think that they can write in a law and regulate any behavior and tax any event, and as long as they get a majority in both houses and the president to sign it, that means it's a valid law.
I think a lot of the people, the representatives here in Washington, think that majority rule's just fine, that whatever the majority decides. But I make a point when I talk to kids in high school or grade school or at whatever level to say, if you leave with one idea that I brought forward, that we are a republic, not a democracy. Our founding fathers were very loath to have a democracy. They worried about majority rule. They thought of it as mob rule. And I tell them that if you believe in majority rule, you believe that the majority could enslave the minority, that we could have slavery again, or that we could take away the right to bear arms. These are rights that pre-existed before the Constitution, and the Constitution is supposed to protect these rights, even from a majority that would want to take these away.
In your experience in the Senate, do you get the sense from other members of Congress that they think or they behave as if our freedoms come not from our humanity, but from the government? And so the government can permit more freedoms or restrict them whenever it suits the government. Do other senators actually think that way, Senator Paul?
I think a lot of them do, because we're always talking now about the rights to different concrete things, the right to have one of your neighbor's cars, the right to have some of your neighbor's wealth, the right to have your doctor's service or your nurse's service. So we have expanded this, and it's because of a confused notion of where rights come from, that government can somehow grant a positive right to an economic good. And because of that notion, we have a confusion up here. And so some think, yeah, just whatever the majority votes for, they can take from one group and give to another. But it leads to a slippery slope that really leads to what happened with socialism, with government taking over more and more of our economic enterprises and our personal life, for that matter.
Do members of Congress consider the constitutionality of legislation before they vote on it, or do they just want to bring the bacon home and let those folks in black robes on the other side of Capitol Hill worry about whether or not it's constitutional?
There is a small group up here, both in the Senate and the House, who I think on a daily basis, I wrestle every day with, does the Constitution permit the federal government to do that? Not is it a good thing, not is it a humanitarian thing, not do people want me to do this, but does the Constitution allow me to do this? I don't think a lot of members of Congress struggle with that on a day-to-day basis. They struggle with whether it's popular, whether the majority want it. So yeah, I think we've been sliding and slipping our way towards majority rule or democracy. In fact, many people up here don't realize or recognize the importance of the difference between a republic and a democracy. Our school children have all been taught that we're trying to make the world safe for democracy. You don't hear them saying we're trying to make the world safe for a republic. You know, they've confused that notion,
Yeah.
and they really don't even understand the difference.
I wonder if school children are even taught the principles of natural law, which are inherent in Judeo-Christian thinking and even in all of the Western world, that our rights come from our humanity. Government doesn't create rights. There are goods we might want to acquire, like health care, like a gym membership, like food, like shelter, like clothing. But rights, free speech, free thought, privacy, worship or not worship, these come from our humanity, whether you think we're the highest evolutionary function at the moment, or whether you think we are the creatures of an all-knowing, all-loving God. I don't even know if kids are taught that in school anymore today.
Well, and I think some people think it's a subtlety whether government gives them to you or whether the rights pre-exist government. But it's a pretty important distinction, because those are rights that the government is protecting, but they are something that are inherent or innate in the individual. And I think many people think that government dispenses goods and government can dispense rights. But if government can create rights that encompass economic goods or something concrete, they have to take that from another group. So they have to take something from one group to give to another, and that abrogates the first or the second individual's rights. And that's the thing that I think many up here don't take the time to process that thought.
Senator Rand Paul, it's a pleasure. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.